executive session with the white paper.
Thank you.
You can tell that here for you. Called me at 6:30 and she said she was leaving a comments in Schaumburg. so
Oh,
she'll
okay,
have to push it.
okay.
Boom, boom.
It's a feeling you might as well make yourself useful.
Outside.
You volunteered for the job, now I guess you should too.
Okay, ready?
There you go.
Call to order. Roll call.
Beckwith,
Here.
Caldwell,
Here.
Deal, absent. Parkapisi, absent. Cotsini,
Here.
Neely. Here. And Sheldon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Just a brief reminder, straight ahead down this aisle, we have the vending area, the washroom, and the exit sign. In case of an emergency, the paramedics are called, please leave a path so they can work. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I skipped the mission statement, I'll catch up with that now. The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. So is there any public over there? So seeing no public, would anyone like to make a motion to move Tiffany to this slot instead of making her wait?
I'll make the motion.
So moved, okay, I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Okay. You're on.
All right. I know that you saw the staff lounge last meeting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's correct.
So this is the plan, and the materials are over there. I can move them to the table if you want.
I can. So, this is the flooring that we're looking at. We picked the color palette because it matches the building, especially the lobby. So this is the floor. You're seeing the cabinet front are, this would be the lower cabinets here, you see here. And then this is the upper cabinets, this red one. And then we're looking at different countertop options, which is part of the cost discussion. So this is a quartz, and then those two are Corian, and then the one below it is laminate. And we've got pricing on all the options
That's all countertop.
on the countertops. So this elevation will wrap around the room here. The sink and the range remain in place, and the refrigerator remains in place. We'll have upper cabinets along the whole way here and here. We'll have an island that people can get around now. Right now, it just comes straight through. So there's gonna be a lot more counter space and a lot more cabinet space in here. Then we'll have a desk over here, one set of open shelving, and then enclosed cabinets here, which you see there. And then we're looking at new tables and chairs in here that people can move together to make one big table, or pull apart, and then a sofa. And then this, just a slide of the pieces. So do you want to go into budget now? Sure. Okay, so,
There are two sheets. So what we have budgeted for this project right now is a total of $60,000. You're looking at $30,000 from the special reserve fund to match $30,000 from our private donors. When we were discussing the budget and we were discussing that matching donation, At the time, our private donors really were interested in keeping this. They said, well, we'll commit between $20,000 and $40,000, we'll match library funds, but we'd really like it to be in the lower end, maybe in the middle. And at that point, the board decided, we would have saved money too, so let's try to make this a $60,000 project. Since then, looking at what this project cost, I've had a couple of conversations with our donors, and I did show them yesterday before this meeting to get their feedback on the project, the different budgets on your handouts. There's a yellow sheet that is the $80,000 budget and a pink sheet that's the $60,000 budget, and they really were disappointed with the $60,000 budget. They really want to see this project, have the upgraded countertop, and they want to see it furnished. To have a complete project. That was their feedback. Obviously, it's the board's decision how, the library will budget this project, but that's their feedback. So these are the two options. What we have, if we don't touch the budget, it's the pink sheet, which is not upgraded counters. It would be the laminate countertops and then no furniture. The board decided they wanted to allocate another $10,000. That would give us the upgraded countertop and then the furniture as well. I don't want to speak for Andrea, but I did have a conversation with her today. Sure.
And the $10,000 would come from,
Special reserve funds. That would leave us with about $450,000 in the special reserve funds.
My first thoughts on this are that what the library / the staff, but what the library would get for that $10,000 if we decide to spend it is $20,000 worth of nicer, longer lasting. I'm thinking that since this is basically a matching grant kind of thing, generally speaking, leaving any of a matching grant untaken is not the best option.
And did I understand you correctly that they favored these upgrades, particularly the countertop? That was what they preferred?
Absolutely.
Not to tell us what to do, I understand.
No, and but they just said, just you can share with the board that we're more interested in the $80,000 project. It's not a secret that they,
Right.
yeah.
does the furniture include the stools at the island and the couch?
We decided, I should have taken that off, we decided not to do the stools. That's what the staff decided.
Okay.
So that has been taken out, but it's all the tables and chairs and the sofa and some bulletin boards.
Yeah, we formed kind of for lack of a better term, a task force of, key people that use all the staff that are involved in the project. For example, we have a chair in there now that the staff, everyone has a chance to give feedback, and the feedback is we don't like that $250 chair, so we are budgeting now a $125 chair, which hopefully they'll like better. But we had some staff go through, and we went through the different aspects of the project, and some of the feedback we received included, we don't need the stools, we're not gonna use the stools, they're just gonna get in the way, so that saves us money, so that's good.
I'm using the parking lot, so.
Okay.
if you want. What are other people thinking about this, please?
So I'll ask about the materials that we're talking about, the laminate versus, I assume it's the corian that we're primarily looking at, not the quartz, is that correct?
Well, I've had the corian and the quartz priced. I have to get the labor costs, so I think in terms of what the order of price is now. These two, this is a grade D corian, and this is kind of I think a lower cost quartz. These two end up being about the same. This plain white one is the lowest grade corian, so that would be a little less. So we were going with this since it's not a significant upgrade from this, and it looks like it is.
And that's what's in the
Yeah.
Okay, did the donors like the corian, or they liked the quartz, or they didn't care? They just didn't much care for the laminate?
They didn't like much of the laminate. No, they thought the corian was good, they liked the quartz, yeah.
Okay.
So the
I didn't get a chance to show them like physically those through countertops, though, we just discussed it.
My concern with the basic Corian is that's gonna be a bear to keep clean.
Yeah.
As white as that is.
Yeah. Now, when we use Corian, we typically use something like this, and I just, like I said, for the price, this is so much
And also
nicer.
with the gray, just from an aesthetic standpoint, that'll be more attractive.
The use of the quartz is approximately the same price as the expensive quality.
Yeah.
And you can get either one of those within that $10,000 increase we're talking about?
It seems that way, based on the information we have.
You want to be brought up to speed?
I
Or-
want to take time with the board.
Okay, well, it'll only take a second, so, because I think it'd be good if everyone understood. So we saw the same plan we saw before. The one change is that the stools, the staff didn't want the stools at the island, those are gone. So now we're discussing the upgrade of the countertops or not. Ryan has explained that he met with the donors, and the donors would prefer to go with the higher quality product.
Which one is that, the one?
This is the one we're talking about.
Is this Spain?
No. It's a quartz, so silestone, cedar stone.
I mean, is it
Home Depot.
porous?
No.
Does it need any annual maintenance or
No.
anything?
No, quartz doesn't.
That's what I'm. No. So Nancy had made the point that with a matching grant, and you leave the money on the table, it's kind of a crazy thing, but
Yeah, and then I do want to say one more thing. We're most likely going to have to drop just the sink because the lounge is not ADA compliant right now. I'm looking to see if we can drop the whole counter a couple inches, but if we can't, we're just gonna have to drop the sink. And so the countertop is gonna have to take a bend like this, and laminate's not gonna handle that very well. So this is gonna be these are gonna be a much better material for that bend that it takes.
Can we drop the sink and then let the sink and the turnaround?
I'm gonna study that. I just gotta find a dishwasher that fits under the,
Because I wouldn't
that
want to
height
drop
counter.
the whole counter space, because tall people have a problem
Yeah, it's
with
2 inches.
backs that hurt as well.
Yeah, and I can't find a range right now that's that low either, so that if I drop the whole thing, that range is gonna stick up far, so, yeah, we can either just drop the sink itself, or, I can try to find a dishwasher that fits under that 34-inch counter.
Oh,
The dishwasher is right next to the sink, it's not on the,
Yeah,
the L part.
yeah.
Okay. Oh.
or we, no, I don't want, never mind.
One question about where the dishwasher is sitting, is there gonna be any issue getting into the cabinets under it? So if it's in that section right before the L, when those are open, will they?
Do you have an issue there now? We'll leave a spacer so that
We
can open past
talked
the
about
handle.
that, you know,
Yeah.
that task force that's funny about, we did talk about that, and I don't know that we technically brought that
We'll
up.
pick a flush handle on the dishwasher so there's not something that sticks out.
You can only open one at a time, but I
Yeah.
think that's normal.
Yeah.
Just like in your kitchen
Yeah.
at home.
yeah.
Because George does all the dishes at home, I'm sure.
That's what teenagers are
Good comeback, George.
Other input. So in order to cover the cost, we would need a motion to take the extra 10,000 out of special reserve.
I move we transfer $10,000 out of our special reserve account to fund the staff lounge.
I second that.
Okay, let's have a roll call in the sense it's one of
Caldwell,
Aye.
Barkapisi, aye. Sherburne,
Aye.
Mimi,
Aye.
Tostini,
Aye.
Deal absent, Beckwith,
Aye.
Ice High.
Okay.
And that was for the quartz. Wait, that's actually looking.
Look at your top. Did you wear that on purpose?
What?
That sweater with the point?
Oh, yeah.
Pointed sweater? I'm looking at you from the back and it's even more funny.
Yes, I'm the new logo. Okay, so we were looking at a sign to guide you to the point. So, do y'all know where this is? Our rendering's a little weird. The ceiling comes like this, and then it pops up on that side.
We know it's.
Okay, and so we'd like to drop a triangular sign under this beam, and then paint this steel right here to designate the point. I know that was a discussion last time. This is what we came up with.
Yeah, looks good.
And those beams are already there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's clever.
Mhm. Okay. Anything else?
Do you have any other questions about these projects?
Okay.
We don't have to move anything, they're already going ahead.
Right.
Okay, and we'd like to do these concurrently, that was the other thing.
Right, and that was in the, I believe, in
Yeah,
the
Ryan
memo.
put that in his report.
Okay.
So that will save us some money.
Okay.
This is
Sure.
for the design, but where's the staff going to eat in between? In this room or?
We are in the process of coming up with a plan to figure out where staff will eat, whether it's this room or the meeting room, so we're going to schedule and block off some spots. As Noreen pointed out to me the other day, though, and I want to accommodate the staff as much as possible, but you know, they've been through a lot, and they're very excited about the staff room, so I don't think anyone will complain if they're
So maybe we could
displaced.
have, you know, as long as we cover this up to protect it, and tables in here and the board meet in a different room. So maybe
How
between times.
long is the staff room going to be out of commission for this? Are we just talking 2 weeks?
Yeah.
or-
It's not so bad.
So on this sheet here,
Mhm.
the gray line items are included or not budgeted?
The touch it is not budgeted.
Okay.
The signage allowance is, I believe, for this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the ceiling budget was,
Oh, I guess I kept that top row is slightly out of date, the bottom section is up to date.
So the
That
final
needs-
quote is,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we had to eliminate a few things.
So we're under budget. That was my question. It was
Yes,
just-
yes, we
okay,
did, we
great.
eliminated a couple things.
Looks good.
The move has already started, we moved all the shelving in the last 2 days.
So when is it going to begin?
I'm going to get all the lead times on everything, so it's probably in 8 weeks from now, somewhere. 6 weeks would be great, but 8 weeks is probably more realistic, so. I'll get all the lead times and then we'll schedule it. Okay?
Yep.
You want me to leave some of these here?
great, yeah,
Okay.
that's if we can.
You know, I'll just leave them back here.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Stephanie.
Really appreciate it. Okay, so moving on. Okay, consent agenda.
I move we accept the consent agenda, items A through F.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right, everyone want to hand me back their exec session minutes, please. Would you take the one from Bob's pile, please, to somebody? This is,
Actually, it's.
I'll give it back to you.
George, this is for you.
Can I go for a little beforehand?
Of course. Okay, let's What's next? President's report, that's just a written report. Any questions? Anybody else have any reports they want to share, please?
Just, I attended the Sherlock, the Hounds of Baskerville the last Thursday, whenever it was.
Yeah.
It was one of the episodes from Sherlock from the BBC. It was a very different take on the Hounds of the Baskervilles, but hey, it was not. There were not an audience of thousands.
There was a Sherlock play at CLC this weekend. Sherlock was a female.
This Thursday is Mr. Holmes. The Thursday night at the movies.
Okay. Anyone else? Nothing? Okay, correspondence is this, right?
Correct.
And,
And just to give a quick overview, this is, so you might recall the major, I call the major FOIA request, was a Great Deal of Information requested by this group, Storytime Digital Media. And I guess Algonquin Public Library, they redacted phone numbers and addresses of the Board of Trustees. Storytime Digital Media lodged a complaint. The Public Access Council made a ruling on that, and they indicated that the Algonquin Public Library was within their rights to redact that information. So that's all that memo really says at the end of the day. When we did our FOIA request, we did not redact the trustees' information. We talked to Roger Ritzman about this, and it's on the website now. It is public. I believe the Statement of Economic Interest also includes our addresses and phone numbers, so feel free to review that at your leisure.
Just a general comment to that point, Joe. There was times on the board in the last couple of years that a lot of information was made, I think, overly public, and I wouldn't mind retracting on that. Like the salary survey is available on the website, I think, and that's just more than I think needs to be done to be in compliance with the law. And I think it puts people's information at risk in this day and age. So if at some point any board members would like to bring a motion or look into that as far as changing the policy for that, I would be certainly welcome to that. Maybe we can.
Maybe I should put that down for a committee of the whole topic.
That
Sounds
Info, public on the website. Okay. And these are, oh, I'll pass these around. Thank you, Cars.
I'm not gonna read them all.
There's two.
That was a joke.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't know how many there were. Okay. All right, let's see, public comment? Do you have any public comment? Okay. We got Tiffany. Okay, reports of committees, they're on page 29 and 30. Questions or corrections? And could we have the minutes just reflect that audit was canceled? Because just so the paper trails. Yeah, perfect, yeah. Director's report. Questions? This is okay. Okay. Got that.
We kind of
Yeah, we kind of covered that. Okay, I'll give you fundraising.
So I'm happy to report our ad hoc fundraising committee is nearly complete. If you recall, the last meeting I announced that Teresa Hall Bartels is on the committee. Mayor Christie Kabarak is on the committee. Michael Farrell is on the committee. Since then, we've added 3 more individuals. One of those individuals is Stuart Kerr. He's the executive director of the Lake County Chamber of Commerce. He's also on the board of the Lake County Community Foundation. And he uses the library. A lot of times he'll come in and use one of the study rooms for a couple of hours. And he also has a real interest in philanthropy in the community, so I think he's a good addition to the board on a lot of different levels. He's retired from the banking industry as well, so he brings the financial background, he has the networking, so he knows how boards should operate. Next is Jim Goshern. He is the chair of the Gurney Park District. I guess he also has a background in IT. And finally, we've added Stephanie Foreman to the committee, and she is involved in a number of different committees in the area. She's been involved in several different boards in the past. I don't know as much about her history. She's a relatively new addition. Diana Vickery recommended her, so we just need really one more individual. We have a couple of other people we're targeting. I think next week we'll start to get some dates set for these fundraising committee meetings. So it's very, very strong committee. We're very pleased.
Questions?
Good work.
Do you anticipate, will there be a board representative on there? How will we, or is that yet to be determined?
You know, that's a good question. I know that during the fundraising retreat, when we discussed this concept of this ad hoc fundraising committee, the idea was to have, obviously myself, Diana Vickery representing the Friends,
Yeah.
and Lauren Childers will be on that committee as well. I think a discussion for the board. I think that, one representative might make sense, sure. Because I think the key is, with anything like this, just the reason we had that fundraiser retreat is communication. We want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. So I don't think it will hurt.
Just so everybody's in the loop, I guess. I'm not even certain, I think it's for discussion whether we need somebody to go there every time, but just, as you said, the communication piece is important.
Maybe the committee of the whole can talk about, what the agenda for those meetings will look like and
Yeah.
have a discussion on that.
Okay, staff room budget, we already took care of that, right? So ordinance, would anyone like to make a motion on the abatement of levy? Well, I will then. I move that the board adopt ordinance 2015-2016-8, abatement of levy for debt service.
I second that.
Okay, any discussion? I think we should have a roll call.
Conrad,
Aye.
Katsini,
Aye.
Mimi, Sheldon,
Aye.
Parkapisi, Beckwith,
Aye.
Dean absent. Ayes have it.
Okay, annual, semi-annual review, page 49. So we need a motion for this too?
To accept it. I move to accept the semi-annual review of executive session minutes, which occurred on December 15th.
And to authorize the destruction of the list of
And to authorize the destruction of the listed recordings as presented.
I'll second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain.
Some of those are juicy.
Yes, they are.
I'd like to forget that.
Goodbye, good riddance to Brad Polish. Okay. Where are we?
You're on Macon Public?
No, that's not. Okay. Next is board self-evaluation committee. I need somebody who can volunteer to chair this function.
This happened.
Well, in the coming months, I don't think it's a particular month. but, in the next few months.
Unless
Prior
you
to
want to
summer.
postpone it to the summer.
Do we
Yes,
have an
from down
instrument
through the
in
middle
place
day.
to do this, or? are
No,
we creating-
well, the last one, was it the last one or two that were,
I can answer this.
thank you.
The last two we did not have. The one from 3 years ago turned into a fiasco with an anonymous contribution that never saw the light of day. So it was scrapped altogether.
But to answer your question, I do believe there is a paper trail that we could resurrect that has an instrument of some kind.
Yes, I think the instrument, the survey was good, and I do think that now that we have a cooperative board, there's no reason why we can't even be more efficient and effective, and I think it certainly is an exercise I'm more than happy to participate in now.
How to work.
Thank you. Right, and we can talk about, how that's done.
Okay.
But maybe I'll put that, do you want that on committee level? Or do you want to just talk about it first?
Yeah, let's talk about it first and
Okay.
see what
That's fine.
we've got in place and what we have to get.
I'll have to go digging
Okay.
too, because I'm not sure, I'm
We
sure
did
I
have
have
one
some
back in the
papers,
day.
yeah, I'll have to look up.
Should we have the folder on?
Okay, all right, we'll start gathering the information. Okay, agenda items for next month, please. Anybody got, what do you have?
Think I-
It's going
Nobody
too fast
has
for my
anything
brain tonight.
For the February agenda?
And we put some stuff on committee of the whole, maybe, other than
Yes.
just come out of that.
Yeah, there will be. Okay.
We're moving into budget time, so.
I know, that's true, yeah. Okay, so we're to exec session. Can I have a motion for that, please?
I move that we enter into executive session to review the performance of a specific employee per 5 ILCS 120/2.C.1.
I'll second. Can you make this a roll call?
Colwell,
Aye.
Orsini,
Aye.
Parkapisi, Nimi, Sheldon,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have it, deal absent.
Yes,
And we're live.
Okay, we are recording.
We're in.
we're in, we're on.
It doesn't show here, but it shows on there that we're recording.
I think we're good, as long as the red light's on.
All right.
Are we good? Okay, it is 8:23 and we are back in open session.
I would like to amend the motion for going into executive session, that it include inviting Executive Director Livergood to join us at some point during the executive session.
Do we need to vote on that?
Who seconded it before? You did.
I did, yeah.
I think you
I'll
did.
second that. Okay,
Make that a roll call
Yeah, make it a
since
roll call,
they,
yeah.
to go into executive session.
any discussion about that? Okay, roll call.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Parkapisi, Nimi,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
deal absent, Beckwith,
Aye.
ayes have
All right, anyone would like to make a motion as a result of the executive session?
it. What else that you do is, I believe you have the wording there.
Maybe.
I move that the executive director receive a 2% increase in his salary effective January 1st, 2015. 16, I'm sorry, 2016.
I'll second
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
Sorry, that'd be good.
Let's make that a roll call, please.
Katsinis,
Aye.
Sheldon,
Aye.
Parkapisi, Nimi,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
deal absent, ayes have it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Is there anything
All right, public forum? Okay, I'm not gonna read the announcements, you can read them. Do we have a date for art, or we're waiting still?
we're waiting?
Waiting. Okay. Do you want to say anything about legislative breakfast?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to speak to lawmakers. I think this is an important one, and, you know, with all the budget turmoil that's going on, with the threat of the,
What budget?
well, right, so I think historically, the executive director and board president have attended, but I would encourage,
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
The executive director generally does. Quite often, it's the board president, sometimes it's 2 members of the board, if you go back.
Sometimes it was the vice president also.
If you would like a volunteer,
Yeah,
I
I-
am available.
that'd be great. I think that, yeah, the more of us that can, the more board members that can go, addition myself, the better.
Do you have to say in advance how many are coming? I can
Yeah,
try to
we have
get
to register for this.
How soon?
I don't think we have some time.
Okay, I'll see if I have work on Mondays, but I'll see if I can get the day, or the morning. How long does it take?
It's quick, it's over that time.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's quite, I think it's early.
It's early, yeah.
It's-
7:30. Also, I guess enough information to the whole board.
That'd be great.
So,
It starts at 7:30 in the morning?
I don't think it starts that early usually.
Is that for the President's Day?
But,
Uh,
yeah, it
Or for the trustee
doesn't
board?
go.
You know what, I
For
could do
the
it, it starts really early.
President's Day breakfast.
Okay.
What about the
Well,
trustees?
I'm not
Somebody going to?
I don't think anyone's going to trustee forum. Is anyone going to trustee forum? I think
Okay, so
no.
it's just, the items.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
There's different for each.
We do alcohol.
I don't need to know the names. Just have the names, the names. I'll be back.
Okay, so if anyone wants to go to the legislative breakfast, if you could notify, if you could include Gina when you let Ryan know. Are you gonna go for sure?
Sure.
Okay, so Nancy's for sure, and I'll try to get the day off that day. I'm not sure I can do that.
It's, the 7:45 doors open, the program begins at 8:30, the program concludes at 10:30,
Okay.
And that is $25, right?
$25.
Okay. All right, anything, other announcements?
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Has anyone heard from Matt? He's been missed a few meetings. Maybe Ryan
He's missed
can
a
give
lot
him
of
a call
meetings.
and see if he's healthy, okay, or what the deal is, just to be inclusive.
I can do it.
Yeah. I don't think we have to, but it would be a nice gesture.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll figure it out, Ryan and I.
Yeah.
We're meeting on Thursday, so we'll figure it
A
out.
nice person.
Okay, anything else? Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
It's 8:30.
That's amazing.